Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and happy 2024. Happy New Year. How are your holidays? How was your festivities? Did you have good food? Did you have great drink? Did you have friends and family and gifts and sunshine and rainbows and all that fun jazz? Or I guess in this case, silver bells and snow, in my case, rather than rainbows. But how were your last vestiges of 2023? Did they go well, and have you started off 2024 right? Well, in my case, we started off pretty good because, for one thing, it was my birthday. But for number two, it's chapter 252, a new chapter of Akatsuki no Yona, also known as Yona of the Dawn. Yona of the Dawn. And wow, alright, I haven't done that in a hot minute. Yona of the Dawn, chapter 252, entitled Even If I Can't Turn Back. And now that I've busted all your eardrums, just to start off 2024 right, I have an opinion on this chapter. It's very short. It's very simple. It's 2 words, in fact. The first word is the. The second is fuck! I know that joke is basically on the level of a dad joke nowadays, for YouTubers and stuff, but I'm serious. The fuck is the only way I can describe this. And I have no theories, guys. I don't. I'm seriously. And it's not that I'm trying to be lazy here. I'm not trying to be lazy. But I'm just telling you, I don't know where this is going. I really don't. Why did Zeno lie? Why did he lie? Why did he act nonchalant? Why is he acting this way? What is actually going down? I have nothing for you other than the fact that, of course, I'm not going to say I dislike the chapter for this, but Of course, we have to shoehorn in when I said last chapter, it's Hawk, it's Zeno, these guys are going to fucking die, right? I said that with all the confidence in the world. And in this chapter, what do we have to do? Even though Hawk still wins. So, spoiler alert in this chapter, Hawk still beats these guys up pretty much. Hawk does a good job, and so does, of course, Zeno. Once he starts getting, his wounds aren't healing as fast, of course, because he's away from the castle. But he's got to build up his dragon scales and stuff, right, to be able to fight back. So it is a bit of a battle of attrition, and they are outnumbered. So fair enough with the numbers game. But what I hated about this chapter, and I mean hate, I don't mean miffed, disliked, pissed off, I mean hated, was how we shoehorn in one attack from Mr. Oh, I'm one of the best, I'm Lord So-yo, you haven't known about me for 251 fucking chapters, but here I am. Bang! Decides to attack the Thunder Beast, and we have just one line that just ruins this shit, and it's, he's strong. Is he on the same level as old man Hyo-ri? No! No, he's not! I'm sorry, I come from, of course, I'm a guy, I watched Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Pokemon, that kind of shit growing up when I first got into anime. So, I'm all about the power levels here. I'm about proper scaling. There's no fucking way these guys are supposed to be this strong. It's the Dromo shit all over again, okay? Hyo-ri was the exception. The exception. All the shadows don't get to be as terrifying and as strong. This means all you're doing is taking the generals of Koka Kingdom and making them all look like bitches. By comparison, by constantly saying, okay, so this Shadow Guard guy is on par with Gwentai and Hawk, because Hawk beat Gwentai, who was considered the best, and Mundok style, right? So Mundok and Gwentai are the 2 strongest tribe generals. Hawk managed to beat him when he was like 9. So we know that Hawk is one of the strongest, and he's the Thunder Beast. He's the Lightning Beast. He's the guy. He's the Darkness Dragon. And then we have, but there's one guy that even he is worried about fighting. and it's Hyori. And I'm like, okay, we can accept that. He's been established in chapter 1. He's that dude from the shadows. He's the shadow guy. And we saw the conversation with soo-won and Lily and stuff. He's been watching over this since Yuhan, and now he's been watching over soo-won, right? We can accept that. Everyone can accept that. But these fucking Lord Retainers all of a sudden are all on the same par level. No, because now what you're taking away is the natural talent and power of Hawk. Now you're taking away the natural talent. It's basically like saying, okay, so what you had here, right? Hawk is basically, to put this in basketball terms, Hawk is pretty much Michael Jordan. Or actually, let's go Kobe Bryant to make this a little easier. Or either one. Anyway, pick a superstar. It doesn't matter which sport either. Wayne Gretzky, Sidney Crosby, whatever you want to pick. He's a superstar, right? He's an all-star. He's considered one of the greatest of all time. And at the same time, and this has been established the whole time. And then it's like saying, while they were playing, there was 6 other Michael Jordans, 6 other Wayne Gretzkys that did fuck all for 250 chapters. For the entire story. Past, present, flashbacks, everything. So the fact that the world has been impressed and amazed by Hawk's talent this entire time, like he's a prodigy, a genius, a Michael Jordan, a once in an era level talent, and then say, yeah, no, so there's this one other dude, and I'm like, okay, yeah, MJ had his rivals too, there were rivals. There was Kobe Bryant, there was Larry Bird, there were guys, that you could argue are up there. So now we're saying, no, there's a whole slew of them that might even be better. It makes no sense. It makes no sense in the world building of the story. It makes no sense, and I'm sorry if I lost some of you with the sports analogy, but it makes no sense in the world of sports. It makes no sense in the world of fiction. And it makes no sense in the world. You don't lord someone up as the GOAT for years, and then all of a sudden turn around randomly one day and say, you know what? There's 9 of them. You don't hold someone on a pedestal and then all of a sudden, you know what? No, he's not that special. He's not that great. That's horrible writing. And all this is establishing here is trying to say that all these shadow guards who have done nothing to help this kingdom has been like... So that one line, or that double line, like he's strong. Alright, yeah, I assumed he was going to be strong. But the whole idea that he's on the level of Hyori is like, no. You don't get to take one attack, then bitch slap him a couple of pages later and say like, oh my god, is this another Wayne Gretzky on the ice? Is this another Tom Brady of the NFL? Like, no, you can't just... A quarterback can't throw one pass in one game, score one touchdown, and everyone goes, do we have another once-in-20-year talent of Tom Brady? You don't score one goal in a hockey game and everyone goes, next Wayne Gretzky. That's not how that works. But that's literally what this chapter just did for power scaling, and I know it's shoujo, and I like my shoujo, but if you're going to write fantasy, if you're going to write battle shoujo, if you're going to do Sailor Moon, it has to make sense. Yeah. So that's my rant, that's my spiel here on 2024 about this chapter, because the rest of the chapter is fine. It's okay. It makes no bloody sense. I have no idea what's going on. But, yeah. So I decided to rant about that part because it did bother me, and the more I thought about it, the more I went down the rabbit hole of hatred. So, yeah, I really despise that, because it's, once again, it's no different than the Dromos. It's no different. Like, it's just... It's not that the Coca Kingdom has to have, like, the only talent in the world and stuff like that, but it's proved time and time again that Hawk is a cut above the rest. When the Zing Elder Stars were introduced, when South Kai first attacked with that other squadron sort of idea and stuff, and there's Kyo Bulk or whatever his name was and stuff, Cha Go, all these guys, yes, they are strong. soo-won is strong, jae-ha is strong, they're all strong. But Hawk is just another, he's just better. It's been that way every time we meet with a challenge. Maybe this guy is going to be an equal, and it's always proven that Hawk is the 51%. He's the 51. He has controlling interest in the company. He's the boss. So, but to constantly do that, and then in the same chapter, he's already like killed a couple of them by the looks of it, or severely wounded them. So to lord that, like, it doesn't suit Hawk, the dialogue, and it doesn't suit what they're trying to establish here. So either way, Kija, of course, ends up trying to fight and stuff, but he's very injured, he's very weak, so he attacks, and then all of a sudden, all the previous white dragons, because he gets hurt, and all the previous white dragons are coming in, their spirits and stuff, and he's like, oh, okay, is this sort of what happened to the other dragons and blah, blah, and we can surmise that this is sort of what happens, like, oh, you're going to take me away? But it's like, wait, no. The mission that all of you waited for is right here in front of me. I'm not done yet. I haven't completed, and I feel fantastic. And since I notice that jae-ha and shin-ha aren't with you, it means they're alive. It means that they're not gone yet. They're not in the spirit world. Otherwise, they'd be here telling me it's your time to come back, because you'd have a better chance of me listening to them. So Kija going into a hallucination, dream, soul world shit, like some Infinity War Soul Stone shit, and immediately applying logic like he's like goddamn Yagami. He's just like, well, actually, I have deduced now, like Sherlock Holmes, like, yeah, this is all fine and dandy, and oh my god, my heartstrings, but I'm using up here first and foremost, and this is great news. I feel great. My mission ain't done. I'm glad to see you all, but it also confirms that the dragons and even the spirit ghosts are like, well, no, we can't confirm or deny. Nope, made up my mind. All right, I'm going back. Give me your strength. Lend me your power, fellow white dragons. Boom! Super Saiyan transformation into a white dragon. He's awesome. He's amazing. And then Zeno decides he's playing Pokemon with a cup with the holy grail of Pokeballs. And he uses the seal to trap the white dragon. Clink. And that's how he seals. I'm assuming Zeno has done this with the essence of jae-ha, shin-ha, and now White Snake. Which also, it was I already read this, people commenting, they love the fact that he referred to himself as the White Snake, because Hawk says it so often, that he said, yeah, well, I am the White Snake, I'm dragon, white dragon, you know, so, because he now thinks of it more fondly, of course, and stuff like that. So, I love that aspect of, and I like that whole scene. The Zeno capture shit. Okay. No clue. Going to assume that he did this to save their lives. He's not, at this point, he's like, we're almost done our mission. He's not willing to watch any more dragons die. Because remember that whole thing with Zeno, it was like a 0.5 chapter thing or something, or it might not have been, I thought it was a 0.5 chapter, where we see Zeno go through his whole life, and then he wakes up and, you know, he's got the 3 other dragons, like, you guys are the best, or something like that, right? I believe that is truly Zeno's, we've seen Zeno's backstory, we know what's going down. So, I'm thinking that he did this to save them. Why he's not telling Yona about it? Maybe now that all 3 other dragons are now in the chalice, are captured and likely safe, I'm going to assume now he can bring it up, and he wasn't able to before because Kija wouldn't have gone into the white dragon form, and he's like, had we left Kija in this state, he would have died. I needed him to believe that, you know, I needed them to transform so I can save them. With Hiryu Castle gone, there's probably a bunch of shit going down. Why? That's the only reason, because why would he lie to the little miss about the chalice? Why would he come back after he's already been discovered by Shin-Ah and stuff? There was no reason for Zeno to then appear in front of them. There was not really any reason. Shin-Ah was the only one to spot him. And he didn't say anything. Granted, you could argue Zeno might not have known that, but, you know, he recognized he was in dragon form, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that's what it is. Zeno's trying to save their lives. He had to lie about the chalice and everything. As a result, I hate the idea of the whole Chagol has been reincarnated in Zeno's body somehow shit. If that's the case, I might drop the manga altogether, because that's fucking stupid. That makes no sense. Why Zeno, first and foremost? Why just because he died? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Zeno is Zeno. Why would that ever happen? You know, that there's no lore. There's no lore behind the chalice to tell us that It will specifically transfer if the person holding the chalice happens to die on the field of battle. It will immediately transfer that person's soul into the body of the yellow dragon to control. You know, on top of, we will telepathically give you knowledge on how to capture the remaining 3 dragons into the cup. And this is also assuming that you have a specific thing that only the yellow dragon was given by King Kiryu. Like, there's too many things there that can't add up. So I don't like the Chagola Zeno theory. I think that makes no sense. I think this is truly Zeno, and once again, I'm just going out on a limb and saying Zeno's not evil. He just couldn't say it in front of... He needed Kijo to transform to save him, but he knew he wouldn't transform if the spirits knew about it, or whatever, something, right? He had to lie. Because he was there protecting the little miss, and he was still transforming into his dragon powers and stuff, and he goes, but my wounds are not as good and stuff, and he was still helping out and all that stuff, and he said, oh, was the little miss worried about me and stuff like that. He's still talking like Zeno, acting like Zeno. Everything else is normal. So, yeah. I don't actually have a theory other than I believe in Zeno. 2 thumbs up for Zeno. But I have no theories. I have no... I don't know why he needs to do it. As I said, well, you could argue my theory is that he needs to capture them for some reason. I don't think it's nefarious. I think it's benevolent. But we don't know the reason and why he lied to Yona about the chalice. We're hoping it's good intentions. That's all I can say. But anyways, it was a bit of a roller coaster of a chapter when that shit started going down. So I think that's kind of it for my review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know I think the chapter came out on like the 2nd or 3rd, and now it's like the 5th, but either way, the review's only a few days late, not a few weeks like normal. So but that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed this review for the first review for Yona of the Dawn, chapter 252 of 2024. First review for 2024 for Yona. I'm looking forward to next month's chapter. I think it'll be quite... I hope we get more answers than we get questions next chapter for sure. But it was a great cliffhanger. Can't deny that. But yeah, that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see all you beautiful people back here next time for more Yona. That's it. Have a good one. Sayonara, everybody.